Merge radio station, 99.9 WMXC HD3 Mobile. 710 Time Saver Traffic.
And good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Uncle Henry Show. This is the Uncle Henry Show. Still on the CW55 for now. Uncle Henry Show is a radio show that you can hear every weekday morning from 5 to 9 on News Radio 710 WNTM and 99.5 FM The Jag. Those radio stations located in Lower Alabama, in Mobile, Alabama. You can also hear the show on the iHeartRadio app anywhere you have internet access. Just look for WNTM or look for me, Uncle Henry, on the iHeartRadio app, and you'll be able to listen to the Uncle Henry Show. Now, the radio show hasn't started yet. It will begin in a few minutes. Right now, it's me and you, the TV viewer, maybe Facebook viewers. Also, Ariel is in her special room where she is able to control the video and also take care of any personal matters like applying lip balm, whatever it might be. Now, before we start the radio show this morning, I would like to begin with a dramatic reading. We are on the weekend, and so I want to share with you a special dramatic piece here that is very popular. I don't know that it's popular in Chumuckla or the Wallace community of Florida, but I know that this bit of spoken word, and that's what I'm going to deliver to you, a spoken word dissertation. I know it's very popular in Lower Alabama, so maybe it could become popular in Chumuckla, Wallace community, Florida, etc. One Friday evening, what a feeling. Feel like singing. Tired of working, my mind is buzzing. Feel like dancing, yes I do. But you gotta make the best of life while you're young. Good people, weekend. Do what you want to do, weekend. When those working days are through, weekend, weekend, weekend. Weekend, weekend. You know it's time to get away, weekend. I want to hear everybody say, weekend, weekend, weekend. Saturday night, feeling just right. Making new friends. Lazy Sunday, every Monday ends my weekend. Yes, it does. But you got to make the best of life while you're young. Listen, people, weekend. Party down with all your friends, weekend. It's party hardy time again. Weekend, weekend, weekend. Weekend, weekend. Spending all my hard-earned pay, weekend. With crazy nights and lazy days, weekend, weekend, weekend. And there's more. But you believe me right now, weekend. Watching all the people play, weekend. I want to hear everybody say, weekend, weekend, weekend. Weekend, weekend. Do what you want to do, weekend. When those working days are through, weekend, weekend, weekend. You got to make the best of life while you're young, right now. Weekend. Do what you want to do, weekend. When those working days are through, weekend, weekend, weekend. Yeah, weekend. All right, that concludes the spoken word dissertation. Very popular in Lower Alabama. All right, stand by. The radio show begins.
WNTM.
Psalm 118:24, King James Version. This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. New International Version. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! Wake up! Wake up, everybody! Wake up! Don't disregard what I have to say just because I'm intoxicated.
Okay. Some people say that the truth comes out when you're intoxicated. I don't know about that. Uncle Henry Show's proceeding now on Friday morning. For you, the radio listener, News Radio 710 WNTM and 99.5 FM The Jag. So far, I've driven onto the streets of the city of Mobile to get here, and nothing awry. Everything seemed okay. No major emergencies. As I attempt to live in my bubble, I'm trying to live. I know we're encouraged to get out of our bubble. I don't know that I want to be out of it. I think I tried to stay in it as much as I could on my way into work, and here I am with you. If you'd like to contact me, the email address, unclehenry@gmail.com. That's unclehenry@gmail.com. Telephone number 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. When I got up this morning, I did turn on news, Broadcast Network News. You may not be aware of it, but in the middle of the night, many of the broadcast networks have people that are kind of sort of doing news. A lot of it seems like infotainment, where news anchors are not sitting at a desk but standing in front of screens and they're chattering about the news. I tuned in, and from what I can tell, people are mad at President Trump about Twitter again. He's tweeted some things, or I think they're mad at him for what he tweeted almost 24 hours ago. So I'm trying to tell you, it's the same old thing. It's what we know that people are mad at the president's tweets. So that's one of I guess that's kind of, if there's nothing else going on, there will be expression of irritation at his tweets. So you're going to get some of that this morning when you look at some of the news networks. And also new leaks. Yes, there are even more new leaks. These are new leaks out of the special counsel's office. So, and that's that's another very familiar story. You wake up and there's some new leaks. Lather, rinse, repeat. We'll get into other stuff. There are other things to get into, and I'll look into all those matters as we continue right back in 2 minutes as the Uncle Henry Show gets underway.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Well, good morning. Traffic conditions starting off quiet and uneventful all across the area. Not seeing any accidents or problems, just not much activity on the roadways to talk about during this early part of the morning. Free and clear, especially on those interstate systems and major highways. I-10 doing great crossing the Bayway and the Wallace Tunnel. Same if you're taking the I-10 into Pensacola, and we're just not seeing any surface street problems. Buckle up, drive safely, and with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Brolier.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Friday morning, everybody. The weekend so close we can almost taste it. An unsettled weather pattern continues today. Afternoon showers and storms will turn robust, so make sure you have that umbrella close. We'll top out at 89. Lows tonight in the 70s. Over the weekend, more upper 80s. We'll still have wet weather around. It's just not going to be as widespread. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
Classics. More classics. And nothing but classics.
The home of classic rock on the Gulf Coast. 96.1 The Rocket.
News Radio 710 WNTM. Your home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Henry! Just got flipped off.
Henry, the Coke man, in Meridian, Mississippi, and just got flipped off.
Press 4 for the previous message deleted.
What's that, Uncle? I just got flipped off.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. The weather lady just told for you watching on the CW55, good morning, our weather lady on radio just said we're so close to the weekend you could almost taste it. Now, I've never thought of the weekend as something I could taste. So I don't know that I want to taste a weekend. I know some good things can happen, but there can also be some other things I don't know that I want to taste of the weekend. But nonetheless, here we are. As you go about your activities over the weekend, please resist the temptation to flip each other off. I've gotten some reports lately of people being flipped off. Please do not do flipping off. A lot of the flipping off happens in traffic as people lose their temper behind the wheels of cars. I saw a car story this morning when I was preparing to come in here and earn cash. And one of the stories I saw was that General Motors is claiming that they're ready to mass produce self-driving cars. And I'm trying to figure out why, because where would you use them? The only way a self-driving car is going to work is if every other car is a self-driving car, right? I don't know where this is going to work unless they're going to set up a special community for the only car you can use is a self-driving car. But they've announced they're ready. They're ready to make a bunch of them. In theory, I'd like one. I'd love to be able to get in my car and then have it drive me and I could just go to sleep in it. Wouldn't that be great? For the people that try to commute, especially those that commute across this lower Alabama into Florida region where we have interstate backups, if you could just go to sleep and just arrive whenever the traffic allows it. But we know that there will be big mistakes at the beginning of the self-driving car. And I'm ready to let somebody else test that. Ariel, please join me here on radio, AM and FM, and also television, and also on Facebook. Let me get your take, because Ariel would like to be microchipped, and so she may like this. Are you ready for a self-driving car?
Nope.
No?
No. Because
but you're young and adventuresome.
I'm young and adventuresome. While the microchip is way more convenient, I can just swipe my hand anywhere. Hopefully nobody wants to cut it off. Swipe my hand anywhere and I pay for stuff.
Right.
I do not want a self-driving car. And I also don't want to be on the road with self-driving cars. Because what happens when they all of a sudden fail? When it all of a sudden fails and maybe, it goes back into that manual mode and somebody who forgot to drive a car or never knew how to drive a car is driving one of these things, now we have a problem.
Or what if a Russian teenager hacks your car? And then you end up in Pascagoula. I didn't want to go to Pascagoula, but some Russian teenager
Why would a Russian teenager send me to Pascagoula?
To extort money from you. They say, we're going to keep you in Pascagoula until you send us Bitcoin. If you don't give us your bank account, we're going to keep you in Pascagoula.
I will gladly give it to them because there's nothing in there.
Okay.
I'm very poor.
All right, so no self-driving cars for Ariel, but she will be microchipped. I'll let all of you test the new technology and then report back to me how safe it is.
Radio for real men.
Surprise, surprise.
The Rush Revolution rolls on. Weekdays at 11, News Radio 710, WNTM.
If you're ready for a security system, call TSI Alarms and Audio. They offer short-term agreements and low monitoring rates. Call 251-662-0500 or visit online at thetsigroup.com.
At Mercedes-Benz Mobile, servicing the customer always comes first. If your Mercedes is in need of repair or general maintenance, come see us at our state-of-the-art service center on Dolphin Street. Our highly certified auto technicians are equipped with the latest tools and technologies to take care of your Mercedes or any other luxury vehicle, including Lexus, BMW, Audi, and Jaguar. Give your car a little TLC and visit our service center at 3060 Dolphin Street today. Mercedes-Benz Mobile, doing our part to keep you moving forward.
Hey, if your AC goes out in this hot Gulf Coast weather, call Bachelor Service Heating and Air. They'll get your house back to cool in no time with a prompt visit from one of their NATE certified technicians. Their website is bachelorservice.com. Certification number 17070.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text SCHOOL to 37913. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why ASU Online's bachelor degrees are ranked in the top 1% by U.S. News and World Report. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona.
And we're back. We're back here on the CW55. The Uncle Henry Show is on the CW55 for now. We're going to be on the radio again in just a few minutes. Right now, it's me and you and Ariel here on television and on Facebook. Today is a day where they throw the paper at buildings all over town, and we had the paper thrown at our building, and so I did pick it up off the ground before I came in. And I'm looking in here to see what's interesting. A lot of times they have what's for dinner tonight. So if you're wondering if the newspaper's worth purchasing in Lower Alabama, what's for dinner? Now, and it's a lot of times it's a stretch because they'll have what's for dinner tonight that's never anything I'd have for dinner tonight. For example, allegedly, what's for dinner tonight is Flemish. Now, and by the way, Flemish, that's not a word that is appetizing. Flemish. Doesn't sound good to me. There's nothing, I don't even know if there's a syllable of that word that I want associated with something I eat. Flemish. But it's Flemish onion soup with cheese. So this is that's allegedly, and it's a recipe on something that is undoubtedly breath-destroying. Flemish onion soup with cheese. So this is good if you eat alone. Only 2 pounds of yellow onions. All right, well, I love onions, but I think I'll skip the Flemish. So that's in the paper if you want to learn how to make Flemish onion soup. Maybe you could make that for Dad for Father's Day. You could take it to his house and leave it on the front porch and then flee. All right, we're about to go back. So we'll get more into this later, I'm sure. in later hours of the show. We're about to go back on radio. Ariel and I will talk about Father's Day in our next segment of the program. It's another one of those days that I think were created as an economic engine, at least in the Western world. All right, stand by. We go back to radio.
On News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Father's Day approaching Sunday. Ariel, please join me here on AM and FM radio and on the CW55 and on Facebook and maybe even on YouTube.
Should be.
As we talk about Father's Day. Now, you told us that you are one of 5 children, so there are 5 youngsters that will be funneling Father's Day gifts to Dad. Is it one gift that everybody has pitched in on or something like that?
In the past, that's how it has always been. Like, everybody put in and we get one big gift. Like, last year we bought him a grill, a brand new grill.
Wow. Okay, that's
every
good.
time you look, he's grilled everything in the house since we bought it.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. He was even outside for Christmas trying to grill.
So, that was a great gift then.
I mean, it was a great gift, but it got a little out of hand. I got sick of barbecue.
So this year, you told us earlier this week that there was a gift. There's not been a conference. There's not been a discussion.
No, because apparently he already has his Father's Day gift. In fact, he's had it for weeks. Like, he walked into the house like 2 or 3 weeks ago and was like, "Thank you guys for my Father's Day gift." And we were all so puzzled. I asked my sister, "Well, what did we get him?" Because I don't remember putting in money on it. And she said, "I don't know. I haven't even seen it." So I'm not sure who bought this Father's Day gift.
So there's a gift, but will the mystery be solved Sunday? Or
I hope so.
Do you not care to find out anything?
No, I
that?
kind of want to know, because it's like, well, what did we get you? I didn't even know that, for one, I wasn't sure how close Father's Day was. And when he said, I was like, oh, God, I forgot Father's Day. It must be today. Then I realized, no, we still had like 2 weeks to go. And it was like, well, why do you have a Father's Day gift? And when did we get you one? And what is it?
Okay. Well, maybe we
But I don't have the guts to actually ask him what it is, because then that would
be, that's not nice.
Yeah, then he'd know that I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I've got the data from the National Retail Federation of what people allegedly spend their money on for Father's Day. The number one expense for Father's Day is an outing like dinner or lunch or brunch, with people spending $3.3 billion on dinners or brunches. So it is a big, for the restaurant people, congratulations to the restaurant people.
Wow.
Number 2 is clothing. Number 3, gift certificates, gift cards.
Yeah, we've never bought one of those.
And is that because of a philosophical disagreement with gift cards?
Well, my older sister, she always says gift cards are for people who don't care about you.
Well,
now she told me. I don't agree, but she said gift cards come from people who don't care about you.
But see, I enjoy the freedom of deciding what I want to get.
Me too. I love gift cards.
I enjoy getting them.
Yes, me too. Gift cards are genius, because then I can just go in and pick out whatever I want. And if you get it to my favorite store, then I can just have a ball. But she says gift cards only come from people that don't care about
Okay,
you.
Your sister is very opinionated.
Yeah, that's
she's
not
very opinionated. I'm not saying she's right for herself, but she obviously, and it's $2.2 billion in gift cards, so it's not. It's somebody likes them, or the people wouldn't buy them.
Or there are a lot of people who don't care about a lot of other people.
All right, number 4 on the list: computer electronics.
Okay.
Then the 5th category are greeting cards.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think we ever bought him a card for. We've bought watches and ties and the shirt and tie set. Like, my mom bought a suit and we'd buy the shirt and tie to match. Like, stuff like that. We've done that in the past.
I'm not a big greeting card person. I think they're
a waste of paper.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's
save
not
the trees, people.
The people that the person that buys the card did not write the sentiments in the card.
Yeah, but they probably stood there for about 30 minutes picking out the sentiment. So It is the thought that counts.
All right. Okay. All
They're
right.
just a waste of time because after you read them, what do you do with them?
Right.
See?
Then after that, home improvement or gardening supplies, tools, personal care, sporting goods, automotive accessories, books or CDs, et cetera, et cetera.
One year we bought him tools and he tried to fix the garage. It hasn't worked since.
Okay. Okay, so but the grill was a huge hit.
Yes, the grill was a huge hit. The MP3 player, nightmare. We spent like months trying to help him program it. And finally, I think he just gave it to my son.
Okay, well, somebody got some use out of it.
Yeah, he uses that as a phone.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ariel, I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day.
I hope so, too.
And we look forward to hearing Monday what Ariel got. She doesn't know yet what she got her dad for Father's Day. All right, let's see. Before we go to break, but Father's Day, like Mother's, not as big as Mother's Day, but still a big economic engine. Will you look especially with that big top category of what people spend going out to have lunch? So it's really good for the restaurant business. And I guess it's really good for department stores and stores in general that do sell greeting cards, because greeting cards, that's one of the things that people don't buy online. They do go in and actually, as Ariel said, stand around trying to determine what pre-written card most closely resembles what they want to say in their family relationship. So greeting cards still draw people in, I guess, to grocery stores, drugstores, places like that. All right, look, we're going to take a time out. When we come back, we'll get back into actual news items as the Uncle Henry Show continues here on the CW55 and on News Radio 710 WNTM and 99.5 FM, The Jag. News, traffic, and weather for the radio listener coming up. For the TV viewer, we're back in just 2 minutes with more conversation for you.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
In wake of Wednesday's horrific shooting at the Congressional Republicans' baseball practice, we learned of the great heroism and sacrifices of the Capitol Hill Police. As soon as shots were fired by the assailant, Capitol Police agents David Bailey and Crystal Griner, they literally risked their lives to protect all the congressmen, all the senators who had been the target of this political assassination attempt by this radical leftist. Now armed with their handguns, while agents Bailey and Griner, they wasted no time in an open field, literally running towards the gunman armed with a high-powered rifle. Now Bailey and Griner were both injured in the shooting, but both agents continued pursuing the attacker until they took him down. These two Capitol agents literally are heroes, and those are the men and women that save lives, risk their life for the love of their fellow human beings.
The Sean Hannity Show, from coast to coast, later today.
Not available in all states.
Hey, Carl, how is it you're always golfing? I thought you owned a business.
I own a Reese and Irvy's robot franchise, Bob.
Robots? What do they do?
They serve 7 flavors of delicious frozen yogurt in just 60 seconds with a choice of 6 tasty toppings. I've got robots in malls, movie theaters, and hospitals, and the franchisor secured these locations for me.
Sounds so easy.
Yep, managing my robots is simple. Each takes about 2 hours of maintenance a week, leaving me plenty of time to practice my short game.
Oh, nice shot. Looks like I need to get some Reese and Irvy's robots.
Easiest employees you'll ever have. Just go to FroyoFranchising.com. Reese and Irvy's will supply everything you need. They even secure you high-traffic locations. Hey, where are you going?
To learn more about a Reese and Irvy's franchise opportunity.
To learn more about your Reese and Irvy's Froyo robot franchise opportunity, go now to FroyoFranchising.com and use promo code 1414. FroyoFranchising.com, promo code 1414. That's FroyoFranchising.com, promo code 1414.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Uncle Henry Show here on the CW55. We'll be back on the radio in numerous minutes. Right now, it's me and you and Ariel, also the people watching on Facebook. I want to say good morning to the people watching on Facebook. Charlie wants to know if I'm going back to the flea market this weekend. Charlie, I'm too busy with Father's Day and other family activities. I will be too busy, unfortunately, to go to the flea market. And it has crossed my mind as the week has gone on. I've been lamenting that I will not be able to make it to the flea market. I will be going back the following weekend because it is good for my mental health to go out there and be. Now, I almost never spend anything. No offense to the market and the people there. I almost never spend anything, but it is just a great mental reset to go out to the flea market. Let's see. Also on Facebook, Nita Jeffers of Bay Minette, who, if I win a Nappy Award, it will be due to the efforts of Nita Jeffers voting repeatedly for me on the votenappies.com website. Please do vote, especially, I'm in a category for Best Mobilian Ever, and all the other people I'm competing with are either passed away or very wealthy and don't live here. I'm the only nominee in that category that can gain from winning. All the other ones, they either don't need it or they can't appreciate it due to being passed away. I'm the only living human that can benefit from winning that category. So please, in a charitable moment, even if you dislike the show, please vote for me at votenappies.com and Best Mobilian Ever. I'm the only person that could benefit from that vote. It'd be a great charitable thing for you to do. Now, also on Facebook, Nita Jeffers says, the lady in Bay Minette, says that my yellow jacket is her favorite. Nita, I also like it. I don't know if it's my favorite. It might be. It might be. Yellow, I've always been conflicted about the color. I remember reading back in the time before the internet in the 1980s, I remember reading psychiatrists claiming that mentally ill people gravitated toward the color yellow. That was according to some psychiatrists. And I don't know if there's anything to that, but they claimed that mentally ill people liked the color yellow and gravitated toward the color yellow. So I don't know what that says about you. I don't know what it says about me, because I do enjoy it. So I'm reluctant about the color yellow being a favorite, even though I do enjoy it. I don't know that I'd want a room painted that color. That'd be a good scientific experiment, is to paint an office yellow and see what happens. See what happens in the office. We, for many, many years, and when I say many, I'm talking like 20, the hallways in our radio facility have been painted a dark gray, and the lighting was, you couldn't turn the lights up enough. And we just recently, in the last few months, had management come in and change it up, and now it's painted completely the opposite. It's painted white, and it's much brighter, and it's made a big difference. It's made a big difference. There's something allegedly to the psychology of color. Red, pink, they're supposed to have some effect on your mind if you're exposed to a lot of it. So I don't know what my yellow jacket's doing to you, Nita. All right, we're about to go back on radio. Before we go back on radio, Ariel, join me here quickly. In the psychology of color, I was reading that if you put blue in offices, people work better in the afternoons if they have blue walls or stuff like that, and that red is supposed to be good. Really? And keep people's energy level up. Do you even pay attention to that kind of stuff?
I did one time because I was trying to figure all of that stuff out, like what the meaning of colors was, and then I didn't care. And then I just did not care. Although I did read once that Van Gogh used to eat yellow paint to make himself happy inside.
Okay. Maybe that's part of the mental illness, being attracted to yellow.
Maybe. I don't know.
If eating yellow paint
Yes.
can do that. All right, well, Ariel, thank you for that. I like that. That's something to consider. Ariel giving us Van Gogh. Where do we get the highbrow stuff? The college grad. It's wonderful to have a college graduate. A degreed person is nearby. So if now when listeners call in and ask me things, I can refer to Ariel. I can say, call Ariel. She's gone to college. All right, stand by.
News Radio 710 WNTM.
Back here on the Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. This morning, there are more stories out about more leaks. This is a very typical news day now. We've had some very unusual news days, of course, with the shooting in Alexandria, things like that. But now we're back to more of a normal news day where there are leaks in Washington, and also stories where people are mad at the president for tweeting. So I don't even know if it's worth going over. Since we kind of know it's what is the movie Groundhog Day? Where you wake up and it's the same thing each day, and that's what it's like. It's you wake up, you turn the internet on, and you look into the internet, and it's the same thing. Somebody's leaked something in Washington, and it's always negative about Donald Trump, the president. And in addition to that, he's tweeted recently and people are mad at him for it. So I guess I could predict that at least 1 or 2 days next week, it'll be exactly the same news day. Now, the new leak, although I'm not even sure if it should even be mentioned. The new leak is another Washington Post revelation about the special counsel. And the leak is about him investigating all the business dealings of Ivanka's husband, the son-in-law. And this is one of these things where, because it's unnamed sources, you wonder if it really is a leak. Because this is something that we could figure this out ourselves without a leak. The special counsel is going to be investigating everything he possibly can around President Trump, and that's just one of the things that of course he's investigating the president's son-in-law. Of course he is. Now, if you may remember, initially he was supposed to investigate collusion with the Russians. But if there's nothing to that, he's got to find something else to look into. So we together probably could figure out what the next leak stories are going to be. Just pick different people that are around President Trump, and we can say that that's who he's investigating, and we'll be right without a leak, because the guy's going to investigate everybody and everything. So that's your big Drudge Report headline today, is the new leak that you and I could have predicted without anybody leaking. For the radio listener, traffic and weather together, and TV viewers and radio listeners back in 2 minutes with more Uncle Henry Show.
Traffic from the Dean McCrary Mazda Traffic Center.
We're getting word of a new problem spot, a possible injury accident. This is I-10 eastbound between the Grand Bay exit and the McDonald Road exit. And police are out there assisting. Right now it's not causing any delays, but definitely drive with caution in the area. Doing great across the rest of Mobile right now. We're not seeing any other problems. I-10 free and clear if you're crossing the Escambia Bay Bridge, both into and out of Pensacola. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Burlgay.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. Some mornings, opening your eyes is hard, but LifeLock's eyes are already open to a wide range of identity threats. Stuff you can't see by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com, use promo code RISK, save 10%.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Good Friday morning, everybody. The weekend so close we can almost taste it. An unsettled weather pattern continues today. Afternoon showers and storms will turn robust, so make sure you have that umbrella close. We'll top out at 89. Lows tonight in the 70s. Over the weekend, more upper 80s. We'll still have wet weather around. It's just not going to be as widespread. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
Never miss a riff. TK 101, the rock station.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry KP here. You can smoke, cuss, and chew. You can gamble. You can go get hammered, drunk. You can wreck the car. You can forget to pay the light bill, but you sure as heck better not wake the baby. That's what I've learned.
Message deleted.
Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. Thank you for watching on the CW55. Good morning to Scotty White of ScottyWhite.com. He released a podcast this week where I haven't listened to all of it, but I listened with great interest as he discussed his health. If you're elderly and you've never listened to a podcast, you'd love his podcast because the first 20 minutes he talks about his health. The older you get, the more you like to swap health stories. What's wrong with you? Well, let me tell you about what's wrong with me. It's that kind of thing. So, ScottyWhite.com. With a discussion of his health issues. Coming up in the next segment of the show, we'll have, I've rarely done this. I don't know that I think I've done it in the past, but it's been years. There'll be some Ted Nugent. He has given an interview where he is talking about toning down the rhetoric because he's been criticized for his rhetoric about President Obama and Hillary Clinton. And after the shooting in Alexandria and the stuff with Kathy Griffin, Ted Nugent has come out to talk about toning down his own rhetoric. So I will be sharing with you some Ted Nugent audio. He does reference Wango Tango. And I believe that's the first. I don't think we've ever had a Wango Tango reference on the Uncle Henry Show. Motor City Madman, Ted Nugent in the next segment of the program. Now, Sunday night is a new episode of the Megyn Kelly Show on NBC. You may remember Megyn Kelly. She used to be really popular when she was on Fox, but then she left to make a lot of money to disappear onto NBC. Now, she's got a very controversial interview with Alex Jones, who does a show online. He's extremely controversial. Look him up yourself to figure all that out. But he now, today, is claiming that he also recorded their interview. And that he's going to release his recording so you can hear the unedited interview, and he's claiming that she was real sweet to him, that she's saying bad things about him now, but when she was with him, she was buttering him up and telling him that he was intriguing and she wanted to go out and have steak with him and stuff like that. Now, I've gone online looking for that recording, and I couldn't find it this morning. But he says he's got it, and he says he's going to release it. So this may end up helping her, even though sponsors want to drop out of her show because she's interviewing Alex Jones. It may help her, the controversy, and actually get people to pay attention to her, because eventually that show is just going to, I mean, she's in a time slot up against 60 Minutes and America's Funniest Home Videos, and there's really I just cannot see her show surviving there on NBC. But anyway, that's Sunday night, and maybe we'll hear the interview before then if he releases his version of it.
While they were watching
Obama spying on Americans,
you were listening. Keep on listening.
It's so sick.
Sean Hannity, 2 till 5. News Radio 710, WNTM.
Hey, for security, alarm systems, cameras, monitoring, and more, call TSI Alarms and Audio. Call 251-662-0500 or online at the tsigroup.com. TSI Alarms and Audio.
Mercedes-Benz is a car like no other. We're offering leasing specials to fit any budget, only at Mercedes-Benz and Mobile. If you thought you couldn't afford a Mercedes, think again. Mercedes-Benz and Mobile has your lifestyle and budget in mind. Come and visit our showroom on Dolphin Street or go to mbmobile.com for details. When I say affordable, I really mean it. Only at Mercedes-Benz and Mobile.
We're here with John McNeil of McNeil Aaron's Lambert Financial Group. John, CD rates at the bank today are lower than any time in history. Can MAL Financial help our listeners earn more in interest?
Uncle Henry, I think so. Rates are very low, and a lot of people still have a substantial amount of money in bank CDs, savings accounts, and money markets. At MAL Financial, we look to see if a short-term fixed annuity will fit their plan. Right now, rates for a 3-year annuity are at 2.1%, 4 years is 2.4%, and 5 years is at 3.4%. Compared to bank rates, this could be a difference of as much as 183% more interest. In addition, the interest is tax deferred. You don't pay taxes on the money until you withdraw it. If you want to earn substantially more interest and pay less taxes, give us a call.
That's 251-666-5000 or online, malfinancial.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Morgan, GM of your Bay Bears, inviting you to come out to Hank Aaron Stadium for another great season of Bay Bears baseball. Here's what's happening this week.
Friday night.
Welcome back to the Uncle Henry Show here on the CW55 and on Facebook. When we go back on radio, we'll have the Ted Nugent discussion of him turning his rhetoric down. And he does make a Wango Tango reference. I think it's the first time Wango Tango has been mentioned on the program. Let's talk to Tony. Hello, Tony. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Uncle Henry there. I was going to tell you, if he turns down the rhetoric, I just hope he doesn't turn down the volume. I hope he keeps it up there where it belongs. But speaking of Wango Tango, who's the one in your studio there, the picture of in the bathing suit on your left?
A picture of somebody in the bathing suit on my left.
Yeah, up behind the seats there on that shelf.
Oh, all right. Well, let me go get that. Hang on.
All right.
Talk amongst yourselves. All right. Sorry, I had to walk over and get the picture so that people would know what you're talking about. This is a picture of Shelby Mitchell of 95 KSJ back when she was in high school, and she was, I think, one of the Watermelon Queens or something.
Oh, okay. Because, the radio viewer doesn't get to see that, but the television viewer, if they're focusing in on anything in the studio, they do see a picture of somebody in a swimsuit. So
wow, that is, I didn't realize that people watching on TV could see that.
Yeah, when you pan out far enough back, you can, so. But, hope you have a good weekend, okay, my friend?
All right, thank you, Tony, for your phone call. Yes, and I believe the sash on the swimsuit says Watermelon Queen. So if you're going to be on 95 KSJ, is there any better qualification than having been one of the runners-up for watermelon. I don't believe she was actually the queen, or maybe she was. But there you see the picture of the young Shelby Mitchell, and the picture's been around here probably for about 20 years. And every time the picture gets put away, somebody goes and gets it and then displays it. And it has been kind of a fascinating psychological thing to see the reaction. Some men have reactions to this. I don't even want to get into it, but a psychologist could really probably write a paper on the way people act, how the picture gets put away and then people bring it back, and then it's always around somewhere, though. All right, stand by. We're about to go back to radio.
Every morning, this is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show on a beautiful Friday. The lady that's doing our weather now says that we're so close to the weekend we can almost taste it. So I don't know what the weekend tastes like. Now, Ted Nugent, so that's in the country, we've had just a brief moment of self-reflection with some people about their rhetoric. After the shooting in Alexandria, fingers are pointed at Kathy Griffin for the picture that she did, and fingers are pointed at different people for saying different things. Fingers have been pointed at Ted Nugent because during the Obama administration, he was very harsh. He at one point said that the president could suck on his machine gun, which is not something that you want somebody to say about a president. I know freedom of speech. However, we've had presidents get shot in this country in our history. So a lot of us are understandably sensitive when it comes to stuff like that. So when the Kathy Griffin thing came up, a lot of people on the left pointed at Ted Nugent and said, well, if you're mad at Kathy Griffin, what about Ted Nugent, who said all these different things like suck on my machine gun? So Ted Nugent, after the Alexandria shooting, he went on a radio show yesterday, and I've got the audio here for you, where Ted Nugent, there's a lady he talks to, I think it's Ebony Williams is her name, and Ted Nugent announces to her and to the rest of us that he has decided to tone down his rhetoric, that he now, after all this has happened, realizes that we should stop being hateful in our rhetoric. Here is Ted Nugent.
I have reevaluated my approach, even though I'm a street fighter. I'm from Detroit. Yeah. We use language in the street. We use certain harsh terms. But at the tender age of 69, my wife has convinced me that I just can't use those harsh terms. I cannot, and I will not, and I encourage even my friends / enemy on the left in the Democrat and liberal world that we have got to be civil to each other, that the whole world is watching America, where you have the God-given right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and we have got to be more respectful to the other side. But I have to clarify, we really are angry. We cannot believe that people on the left don't want secure borders. That this is crazy to us. But I am here to tell you, Ebony, your civil discourse from one side to the left and the right, I think, is a shining example. We have just got to take a deep breath. Remember, I am the Motor City Madman.
You are.
I didn't just write Wango Tango. I meant it. But I'm going to take a deep breath, and I am going to back it down. And if it gets fiery, if it gets hateful, I'm going away. I'm not going to engage in that kind of hateful rhetoric anymore.
Okay, so Ted Nugent, you heard him. He is not going to engage in hateful rhetoric anymore. Now, I'm curious, because I'm not a Ted Nugent person. I've never been Ted Nugent oriented. He said that not only did he write Wango Tango, he meant it. Now, I don't know, what does that mean? Ariel, have you ever heard Wango Tango? All right, now, we've got it in our system here. So I'm gonna try and understand a little bit of this. I know this will probably make Facebook mad and YouTube mad because they don't like when you play music. But I want to know. He said he means Wango Tango. So let's listen together. What is Wango Tango? All right, well, what is that? That's nothing. What does that mean? All right, so there is no great meaning to that. His baby likes to rock, and his baby likes to roll, and his baby has no control as she do the Wango Tango. All right, well, yes, it is interesting that we look to the man who wrote Wango Tango to bring civility to our political discussion. Arrow, have you ever heard that before? Doesn't that sound like a headache? That if you listen to the whole thing, you would have a headache. All right. I don't want to put words in Ariel's mouth. No offense to the Ted Nugent fans, but that would be torturous if I were in a situation where I had to listen to all of that. That is just very headache-inducing. All right, well, oh, wow, okay. All right, and the lyrics to Wango Tango are the word gyration. You see, it's a crazed gyration of the rock generation. It's my motivation to avoid the nauseation, frustration. Okay, this is nasty. It gets nasty. All right, well, he said he meant it. All right, I don't want to be distracted by Ted Nugent lyrics, but he's one person that would like to tone down the rhetoric. I don't know if that means there's going to be any toning down. I'm kind of cynical about that. We do all note that after Steve Scalise was shot, just within hours of being shot, people were on Twitter celebrating it. So I don't know that there's a way to tone down human nature. Although Ted Nugent at age 69 says that his wife has talked him into toning it down. All right, there's more show to come. We have a lot to get into as we move forward. Several more hours of Uncle Henry Show to come. Back on TV in 2 minutes. And back on radio after news, traffic, weather, and all of that.
Driving means
freedom,
exploration,
fun,
pride,
flexibility,
travel,
protection,
ability,
friendship,
excitement,
escape,
independence.
Distracted driving means
danger,
recklessness,
irresponsible,
chaos, police, devastation,
loss,
injury,
death.
Safe driving means staying alert and staying alive.
StopTaxStopRacks.org. A message brought to you by iHeartRadio, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Uncle Henry. If you have a tree problem, let me introduce you to someone who can help you solve it. That's Donnie Chastang at Chastang's Tree Service. Donnie Chastang offers residential and commercial tree service, and this includes tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, tree topping, and deadwooding. And I really like the fact that Donnie has invested in all the best state-of-the-art equipment needed to handle any job, no matter how difficult. And his employees at Chastang's Tree Service, they've got many years of experience in the tree business. So with the right equipment and experienced employees, Donnie Chastain can handle jobs quickly and professionally. So if you've got a tree problem, call Donnie Chastain at Chastain's Tree Service for a free estimate. The telephone number is 251-342-4667. That's 251-342-4667. That's Donnie Chastain with Chastain's Tree Service.
It's here. iHeartRadio lets you play any song right now. Need to hear your favorite new song? Do it. Need to hear the song that reminds you of that thing? You know, the thing from the summer of 2010?
How do you know about that thing?
Just play it. iHeartRadio gives you the best live radio and your music in one place. So upgrade now and play exactly what you want to hear. iHeartRadio free, iHeartRadio Plus, and iHeartRadio All Access powered by Napster. Go to iHeartRadio.com now to upgrade.
Your severe weather station. This is News Radio 710 WNTM Mobile, an iHeart radio station, 99.9 WMXC HD3 Mobile.
And we're back. We're back here on the CW55 with the Uncle Henry Show. We're in a radio break. Radio listeners hearing traffic and weather and news from Fox, news from other outlets. We'll be back on the radio in just a few minutes. Right now it's me and you and Ariel. Ariel, please join me here on the CW55. We have the weekend approaching. The weather lady this morning saying the weekend is so close you can just about taste the weekend. So what are your plans? Do you have big plans for the weekend?
Well, if the weather holds up, I'm going to take my son to a U-Pick farm. I found one in Grand Bay, by the way.
All right, so what do you want to pick at the farm?
Vegetables, fruit. I hear they have a lot, like my uncle, who's from somewhere up the country, and I'm not even sure what he means by up the country, because that could be any city.
That's right.
Right. So he was going to take us to a farm that he knew of last weekend, but weather wouldn't hold up. So hopefully, since I found one in Grand Bay, I can go up there, pick some fruits and vegetables with my kid, and we eat them throughout the week. Who can tell with this weather, though?
Yeah, we have had quite the run of moisture, haven't we? I mean,
and it's not over yet. Like next week, it's supposed to be just the same.
This is and yesterday there was a weird phenomenon where I looked outside my house and it was raining.
Right.
And I looked on weather radar using the internet.
Okay.
And it didn't show any rain. And I thought, how is this possible? Is it just moving around that fast that the radar can't keep up with it?
Maybe it was.
So, yes, our weekend plans all depend on whether or not we'll get rained on.
I hope it doesn't. I'm so sick of rain.
So you want to go pick vegetables and take your son. Now, does he eat vegetables?
It depends. It depends. Like, he likes corn,
Mm-hmm.
but it has to be on the cob. It can't just be, corn off the cob. It is a requirement that it's on the cob.
Okay.
And broccoli, only if I stand it up, and mashed potatoes like they're trees.
Okay, so he will eat it if it's positioned properly.
Correct.
Okay.
He's such a strange little kid, but whatever, man.
Hey, that's at least he eats broccoli.
Yes.
That's a major accomplishment for some little children.
And what my grandmother calls snap beans, but I thought that they were just string beans, but if she wants to call them snap beans, whatever, girl.
Okay. My dog likes green beans.
Your dog eats green beans?
Absolutely, out of a can. Yes. Loves them.
Wow.
Loves them.
Strange dog. Most dogs just eat Alpo. But okay.
Do they still make Alpo?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I haven't had a dog in years. But
Okay.
when I had one, that's what he ate. His name was Prince, the doggy formerly known as.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, Ariel, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope the weather holds out. We'll be checking in with Ariel for numerous things as the program moves forward, since when I check in with her, I don't have to think so hard. Now, I noticed that the Bay Bears, Mobile has a baseball team. You may not be aware of this based on attendance, but there is a baseball team. Hank Aaron Stadium is where they play, and they're going to have a softball game with celebrities, including Alabama's A.J. McCarron. So the celebrity softball game is 4:30 Saturday afternoon. A.J. McCarron, Nick Fairley, another famous football player, and iHeart's Mary Booth, from Mix 99.9. I believe Dan Brennan of 95 KSJ is also involved. But as Ariel said, if the weather holds out, is what we have to remember about this weekend. So who knows? But that is something that might be fun for you, especially if you're an Alabama fan and you want to see A.J. McCarron. He will be there at the Bay Bears Celebrity Softball game. And there's continued baseball, actual baseball after that game, and also Sunday afternoon if weather holds out, as Ariel Monique would say. And there's local theater in Mobile. Rock of Ages continues at the Joe Jefferson Playhouse, and in Pensacola, the Pensacola Little Theater with Footloose. Musicals are very popular in this part of the country, aren't they? So that's all. There's not a lot of other things going on. When it gets to be hot, there's just less going on. Wait until the fall. All right, we're about to go back on radio. Please stand by.
50 states, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
From the Mercedes-Benz of Mobile Studios, this is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM, The Jag. As we approach the weekend, do what you want to do, weekend. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Bill Zimfer, NBC News Radio, will give us the latest on the Cosby trial, where the judge told the jury that they can't leave. I was watching Local 15. They have a story about an empty shopping center in Midtown Mobile. At the Loop, there's a shopping center that used to have a drugstore and a Payless Shoes. And now the drugstore is gone and the shoe store is going to close up. So it's going to be an empty shopping center. And the gist of the story is that people are concerned. That people are concerned because they're worried that vagrants will determine that that's where their new headquarters is going to be. That it will become a magnet for vagrancy. And I guess I need to look the word up to figure out the exact meaning. But I guess it's people will assemble there to do nothing, and they're worried about this. But this is in Mobile at the Loop, a very heavily traveled intersection. So I don't think the people should be concerned. I think something will want to be there. It's so heavily traveled. And people think about businesses. What about condos? Why not? We're trying to get residential in downtown and build condos there, turn old bank buildings into residential areas. Why not do some Loop condos? And you'd have all the convenience of living. Think about it, you, the viewer or listener, the convenience of living across the street from a Popeyes. Wouldn't that be fun? And you could go out, if you had a balcony, and you could go out and watch the people in the Popeyes for entertainment. When I was at the Popeyes, I remember years ago, I was in the Popeyes on Government Street in Mobile, down closer to downtown, and a man came in and asked if he could have some of my chicken to feed his pet spider. And he told me that his spider was invisible. And I thought, isn't this wonderful that people of all kinds of beliefs and realities can join together in the Popeyes? So wouldn't that be fun to have a condo there at the Loop across the street from a fried chicken?
Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Our biggest problem spot right now, an accident with a possible injury involving a car that ran off the road. This is I-10 eastbound between the Grand Bay exit and the McDonald Road exit. It's not causing too much of a problem, but you definitely want to drive with caution in the area. Good flow across the rest of Mobile right now, not seeing any other problems. Same if you're traveling into or out of Pensacola. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Brolier.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. Some mornings, opening your eyes is hard, but LifeLock's eyes are already open to a wide range of identity threats. Stuff you can't see by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com, use promo code RISK, save 10%.
RVs Unlimited in Robertsdale, new and pre-owned. RVsunlimited.com.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Friday morning, everybody. The weekend so close we can almost taste it. An unsettled weather pattern continues today. Afternoon showers and storms will turn robust, so make sure you have that umbrella close. We'll top out at 89. Lows tonight in the 70s. Over the weekend, more upper 80s. We'll still have wet weather around. It's just not going to be as widespread. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. Some mornings, opening your eyes is hard, but LifeLock's eyes are already open to a wide range of identity threats. Stuff you can't see by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com, use promo code RISK, save 10%.
Traffic updates every 10 minutes on the 9s every morning. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Henry, if I give you $500, will you be civil to me again over the radio? 500, Henry.
Message deleted.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show, or watching it on the CW55. Coming up in less than 10 minutes, Bill Zimfer, NBC News Radio, will check in with us and give us the latest on the Cosby trial. The jury is having trouble, and the judge won't let them leave. And they've been sequestered. That does not sound like a lot of fun to serve on that jury. That does not sound very good at all. Now let's see. I saw a story for the local interest in Lower Alabama and Mobile. For those of you watching in Chumuckla, Florida, the Wallace community of Florida, we have a street in our metropolis of Mobile called Ann Street that is infamous for being just terribly maintained and in disrepair. And I saw a story in the news that they've announced plans locally to repair the bumps in the road. They're going to have a short-term fix where they're not going to do a major renovation and actually completely and totally fix it, but they're going to put new striping, gutters, and things, and have like a bit of patch. They're calling it a Band-Aid. They're going to Band-Aid and resurface Ann Street. And the reason I'm mentioning this, the thing that is of interest to me is I saw one of the city council members involved in it says that when they finally pave this street, they're going to have a celebration. That this street is so bad that when it finally gets fixed, there's going to be some kind of celebration. Think about that. Mobile City Councilman C.J. Small tells AL.com, quote, "We're going to have a big celebration when the work is finished in a few weeks. When I first took council in 2012, my first priority was Ann Street," end quote. So a big celebration. So I don't know, what are you going to have, a party on the street? Barbecue, cocktails, what, face painting for the children and clowns? I mean, what? So that's how bad the streets have been in our community, that when you finally fix one, you're going to celebrate. And see, that's not the right attitude. When you pay taxes, you should expect that the taxes go for what they're intended for. It would be like having a celebration at the end of our work day that we actually, but we're already doing our job. We don't need a celebration. But a celebration for paving a street. That tells you how bad infrastructure has been. If you're going to have a party for a street being paved. Well, coming up, Bill Cosby trial with Bill Zimfer.
Hopefully, we'll see some sunshine this Saturday, and that means the bikinis will be coming out. Well, we know bikinis are in the forecast at Harley-Davidson of Pensacola this Saturday. It's another ever-popular bikini bike wash from noon till 3 at the dealership. Free beverages and food will be available for purchase from Hip Pocket Deli. And then a huge Father's Day celebration and giveaway at the dealership on Sunday beginning at noon. Check Facebook and their website at PensacolaHarley.com, and we'll kick off the weekend with a bikini bike wash Saturday from Harley-Davidson of Pensacola.
The Results Companies, one of the world's largest customer experience providers, is looking to hire over 400 employees at the Mobile site this June. Positions include customer service reps, bilingual customer service reps, sales, supervisor, management, and leadership. You must be comfortable speaking on the phone, being understanding, and most of all, being efficient. On the sales side, Result is looking for persistent, personable, and outgoing individuals. If you're a hardworking individual that loves the customer service and sales industries, please visit theresultscompanies.com to learn more.
Take care of your skin. See Dr. Thomas Bender at Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. Dr. Bender sees patients in Mobile, Daphne, and Bay Minette. Find out more online at advanceddermclinic.com.
Kyle is a dog trainer.
Okay, sit. Good boy.
In his personal time, Kyle's a personal trainer.
1, 2, good.
Kyle knows how to get results, but when it comes to mortgages, he's less confident.
Guilty as charged.
Fortunately, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so he can understand the details and know he's getting the right mortgage. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Go to rocketmortgage.com today.
Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
The key to success? Keep it simple, especially when it comes to hiring. And nobody makes it easier than Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes.
We're back here on the CW55, Dare to Live Your Life, the mission statement of the CW55. When we go back on radio, Bill Zimfer of NBC. In the previous segment of the TV and radio program, I was telling the viewer and listener about repairs to Ann Street in Mobile, where it's been so bad, a city council member says there's going to be a celebration because they've paved the street. Let's talk to Cliff. Hello, Cliff.
Good morning, Anthony.
Yes.
That should get C.J. Smalls ran out of his office.
Why? He should be run out of office for celebrating the paving of the street?
Henry, you can pave the whole interstate all the way from Water Street to Tillman Corner, but you let Ann Street stay. And I know he hadn't been in there that long, but all you're going to do is patch it.
Wait just a second. I see Bill Zimfer is calling in. So, Ariel, if you wouldn't mind grabbing him there. So you're saying, well, yeah, they're doing a temporary fix because the major fixing of the street, they don't have the money to fix it completely and totally.
Okay, do you know how many patches that will be?
Probably infinite.
Hey, man, over there by the School of Mathematics and Science.
Yes.
That's a project in the work by itself.
Right. Well, it is a major project. No doubt about it.
That just lets you know how they spend our money.
Yeah, it is odd. I find it strange that when the city paves this street, they feel that it's to be celebrated with some type of celebration. That was very strange.
You have a blessed day, Uncle Henry.
Also, thank you, Cliff. You also have a blessed day. Bill Zimfer is standing by. In his part of the world, in Pennsylvania, I don't know what it's like, but in Alabama, when a street gets paved, we don't pave our streets. And so when one does get paved, the government not only paves it, then there's a celebration. Let's celebrate the paving. Because it's once in a generation that the street is paved. All right, stand by. We're going to go to Bill Zimfer, NBC News Radio, in 20 seconds.
And over the weekend, we are expecting less in the way of rain.
Yes, but let me get finished with the weather first.
News? Check. Traffic and weather? Check. Opinions? Check. This is the Uncle Henry Show, only on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Here on News Radio 710 WNTM, 99.5 FM The Jag. Also, people watching on the CW55, thank you for watching. And also on Facebook, want to welcome back to the show Bill Zimfer, NBC News Radio, covering the Cosby trial. Bill Zimfer, what happened between the judge and the jury yesterday?
Well, I think that we even talked about it yesterday morning. Good morning, Henry. That at that point, going into yesterday morning, the jury had some questions, wanted to rehear some testimony, but hadn't informed the judge that they were stuck or deadlocked. Well, little after 11 o'clock yesterday morning, they informed the judge that they were indeed deadlocked and could not reach a consensus on any of the 3 counts against Bill Cosby. Now, what happens at that time is the judge, he basically reads them an order that is called a Spencer charge here in the state of Pennsylvania. And what that is a set of instructions asking the jurors to re-examine their own views and their own opinions and to go back into the jury room and continue deliberations. And that's what happened. He sent them back in. They deliberated till about 9 o'clock last night. Still no verdict. Called it off for the night. And they're going to be back in there in about an hour and a half from now.
Now, I try to put myself in the shoes of a juror, and I've been away from home. I've been sequestered. I'm listening to unsettling, nasty testimony during the day, and then I'm deliberating into the night for several days. I would think the jury, on whatever side they're on, the tempers would be flaring. You'd be frustrated. You'd be upset.
I would think so, too. But one of the things the judge pointed out to them is that he did not want them to return a verdict just for the sake of returning a verdict, that if they felt that they were right in their opinion, that they should not change it just so they would have a verdict. Now, we don't know what the split is. We don't know if it's 11-1 or 6-5 or 6-6 tied even. So we're not sure what the split is, but certainly it would be very, very frustrating, you would think. But people are making, this has gone on so long, Henry, that it's become almost like a circus-like atmosphere outside the courthouse. I talked to you yesterday about the guy who carried the recliner up on the steps of the courthouse. Yesterday, there was let me ask you this question. Are all of the drum squad members accounted for from the University of Alabama marching band? Because
I don't know.
A couple of guys showed up with drums on the courthouse steps yesterday to entertain the crowd. So it was another day of weird happenings yesterday, and there's even been one comedic suggestion that the other day the jury ordered Stromboli for dinner. So somebody took off on that and said, well, maybe the jury wants to stay here because there's a lack of good Stromboli out in the Pittsburgh area. So this is really getting funny now.
Well, and so the jury frustrated. As you mentioned, no way to know what the deadlock is like. If they don't reach a verdict today, what, according to the law in Pennsylvania, what happens? Is it a hung jury, and then do they go back and do all this over again? How is that going to work?
Well, first of all, there is no time limit on these deliberations now, and there is no limit to the amount of times the judge can do this very same thing. If they come out today and say we're deadlocked, he has the ability to tell them to go back in and continue deliberating again. I can't see that happening since deliberations have gone on now longer than the testimony went on in this trial, 40 hours over 4 days. So let's say today we finally get to the point where this is a hung jury. Then the district attorney has to decide whether he wants to retry the case. He'd have 120 days to make that decision, whether he wants to retry Bill Cosby. But I would think there'd be an awful lot of pressure for him to do that, to retry this case.
Bill Zimfer, a few days ago, you and I talked on the air about the strategy of the defense only having 6 minutes of a defense. Now it's starting to look pretty brilliant, isn't it?
It sure is, and I think we said at the time, you look back on it, if Bill Cosby gets off on this or if it's a hung jury, it looks like it's a genius move by the defense, and it's looking that way now.
All right, well, Bill Zimfer, thank you very much for your time, and like a lot of people, really curious about how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be interesting to watch.
All right, have a great weekend, Bill Zimfer.
You too.
There he goes, Bill Zimfer, NBC News Radio. Yeah, with a circus-like atmosphere, people showing up with recliners, people showing up with their drums. I wonder, when you have the media assembled there the way the national media is assembled, how many entrepreneurs try to go there and just get the name of their business in front of a camera? Would it be worth your while to just go stand in the crowd with your website on a shirt? I'm not being facetious. I'm not being silly. But I wonder. I mean, there's the possibility of nationwide or international exposure if your web address is seen standing in the crowd with this circus-like atmosphere. But boy, I would not want to be. I understand we need juries and certainly appreciate the service of citizens on juries. And if I'm ever called, I will do my very best. But it does sound like this would be a particularly difficult term of service, having to be sequestered, be away from your home and your family, and listen to that kind of a nasty trial and then have to deliberate the way they've been deliberating. There's more to come. TV viewers, back in 2 minutes. Radio listener, we're about to give you news, traffic, weather, all of that. Big information load coming your way. Keep with us, please.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stock futures are higher, indicating a higher Wall Street open ahead of reports today on housing starts and consumer sentiment. S&P futures are up 3 points. NASDAQ futures are up 9. Dow futures are up 20. Crude oil is up 0.7% at $44.76 a barrel. Tax weighed on Wall Street yesterday, and it was a lower close. The benchmark S&P 500 fell 5 points, or 0.2% to 2432. Whatever's causing the weakness in hot corners of the equity market to persist, it is not earnings forecasts. Wall Street firms have on average left intact, not lowered their estimates for annual profits since the start of the year. That hasn't happened since at least 2012. The combined prediction from single stock analysts is for income to rise 12% this year, a tad above the view in January. At the very least, the confidence is a support pillar for the equity market, where some of the heaviest selling of the year has landed in the past week on tech shares. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Our biggest problem spot right now, an accident with a possible injury involving a car that ran off the road. This is I-10 eastbound between the Grand Bay exit and the McDonald Road exit. It's not causing too much of a problem, but you definitely want to drive with caution in the area. Good flow across the rest of Mobile right now, not seeing any other problems. Same if you're traveling into or out of Pensacola. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Brolier.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Friday morning, everybody. We have made it, but keep in mind, as we wrap up the work week, the weather pattern will remain unsettled. We are going to see more showers and thunderstorms, so it will be a wet finish. Keep the rain boots close and the umbrella even closer. Our coverage today will be at 50%, highs in the upper 80s. Less rain this weekend. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
This is Uncle Henry. I'm here with John McNeil of McNeil Aaron's Lambert Financial Group. John, I hear ads to call an 800 number to get term quotes. Now, what's the difference between those? Now, are we back? Are we back? I've lost track of time. I went to go get coffee, and I lost my orientation in the time stream. I guess we are. Yes, we are back. I just looked up to our television feed, and we're back. So we're back on the CW55. Good morning. We're in a radio break. The radio listener is hearing lots of information, which is what the radio listener craves. Right now, it's me and you and Ariel here on the CW55. Father's Day is this weekend. Do your best with Father's Day. Now, coming up in about 20 minutes, we're going to talk with Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio, about the Mueller investigation. Today, the news is like it has been for several weeks, where there are new leaks in Washington that are negative about the president, and also some people are upset about the president tweeting. So it's really the same kind of news we've been waking up to. Nothing new here. Ariel earlier mentioned that her son will eat broccoli. She has a young child, and he will eat broccoli if you stand the broccoli up in the mashed potatoes like they're trees. Then he will eat the broccoli. Now, there's a story about broccoli. There is a powder. This is from newscientist.com. This is not from some fly-by-night weirdo website. newscientist.com. There's a powder that contains concentrated extract from broccoli. And when they put it in a pill and give it to people with type 2 diabetes, it reduces blood sugar levels by up to 10%. So broccoli pills. And this is because, and I guess it has to be in a pill because people won't eat their broccoli, I'm guessing. Unless, now, maybe they haven't tried the Ariel Monique technique, which is to take the broccoli and put it in. Ariel, join me here because I want to ask you about your Ariel Monique technique in terms of broccoli. Scientists have not heard about your technique. Instead, they're taking broccoli and they're taking an extract of the broccoli, then they're turning it into a powder, and then they're putting it in a pill. When all you did was put the broccoli in mashed potatoes like a tree.
Right.
So now, whose idea was it to put the broccoli in the mashed potatoes and make it a tree?
Mine. Well, I kind of saw it on a movie a little bit.
On a movie?
On a movie a little bit. But they didn't. They had just mixed them into the broccoli, and I was like, "That is disgusting. I'm not mixing it in the broccoli." But what if I stand it up and I tell him, "This is snow. Those are trees. What are you gonna do?" He went with it.
He went with it. Well, that was. I want to give you a hand for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And see, the scientists now. You have solved a scientific problem quickly, improvising, and they're here. They're taking extracts and they're making them into powders and putting them into pills.
That's what happens when you don't have a mom brain.
Or this is what happens when you're trying to figure out how to make money.
That too.
Because
that too.
Oh, you've got diabetes. Well, I'm going to write you a prescription for broccoli pills, and the insurance company's going to have to pay for a bunch, and it'll end up costing a bunch of money. When they could have gone and gotten some mashed potatoes and broccoli.
Well, then they're actually the genius here.
Yeah, although mashed potatoes, bad for diabetes.
Terrible.
Because it would raise the blood sugar.
Right.
So they have to figure out something else they can. Now, cheese doesn't always have a lot of carbs.
No.
Maybe you could stick the broccoli in the cheese.
I haven't thought. What would I? Oh, I could say it's lava.
Yes.
I could make that work.
Okay.
I could make that work. Yeah.
All right, Ariel, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ariel with the mom brain. Now, if the scientists weren't trying to make money off this, then they have just not figured it out. So they're very excited. Here's a quote. We're very excited about the effects we've seen and are eager to bring this to patients. Yeah, I bet they are. I wonder how much a broccoli pill will cost. How much will the broccoli pill cost? But if you're diabetic, broccoli is what they're talking about, reducing the blood sugar. All right, about to go back on the radio here on the Uncle Henry Show at the conclusion of our news break with many other fun and exciting topics, just like broccoli pills. Stand by. Here we go.
The bounds of the Houses of Parliament.
That's Sky News correspondent Tamara Cohen in London. Fox News. We report, you decide.
You're home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio, with more on President Trump and being investigated by the special counsel, which is almost like a deja vu. Today's kind of a deja vu day because there have been more leaks, allegedly, from the independent counsel. Now, earlier this hour, I was mentioning that I saw a news story in Lower Alabama where there's some Mobilians concerned that a shopping center at the Loop is about to be vacant. There at the Loop, a very famous intersection in Mobile, Alabama. Once upon a time, that used to be West Mobile, but now it's the Loop. And there's a shopping center that had a major drugstore chain and a Payless Shoes in it. And both of those are going away, and citizens are concerned. They're worried that vagrants, that people with no particular place to go will determine that that is where they should set up shop, and that all manner of things could happen there that they don't want to have happen there. So people are concerned about the empty shopping center. Well, my suggestion would be, could we, instead of putting more businesses there, which would be good, would it be even better to put condos? Condos at the Loop. There's so much, think of the fun. This is a major intersection. Think of the entertainment of living there and being able to watch the activities in that major intersection. I'm serious about this. You've got a Popeyes. There's always something going on there. And then you've got, I think, a Walgreens. That would be, what a wonderful parking lot to just go out on your balcony. All you young urban professionals, used to be called yuppies. I don't know what a yuppie is in 2017, but you go out there on your balcony with your white wine and you sit down and you watch the people in the Walgreens parking lot. It's really, and it would be wonderful on Christmas Eve, watching all the people going there at the last minute scrambling to buy something for Christmas. I just think it would work. In fact, I got a communication on Facebook from Mary Z. Lee. She says lofts at the Loop would work. Get Johnny Gwynn on it. Lofts at the Loop. Think about it, wouldn't it be fun? We want our condos on the beach or on a river or in downtown near the nightlife. Why not at a major intersection where you can watch the world? Back in just a moment with more show.
Time saver traffic from the Dean McCrary Kia Traffic Center.
Our biggest problem spot right now, an accident with a possible injury involving a car that ran off the road. This is I-10 eastbound between the Grand Bay exit and the McDonald Road exit. It's not causing too much of a problem, but you definitely want to drive with caution in the area. Good flow across the rest of Mobile right now, not seeing any other problems. Same if you're traveling into or out of Pensacola. And with Time Saver Traffic, I'm Angie Brolier.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Southern Cancer Center. Weather Center.
Good Friday morning, everybody. The weekend so close we can almost taste it. An unsettled weather pattern continues today. Afternoon showers and storms will turn robust, so make sure you have that umbrella close. We'll top out at 89. Lows tonight in the 70s. Over the weekend, more upper 80s. We'll still have wet weather around. It's just not going to be as widespread. I'm Kelly Foster for Local 15 News in this iHeartRadio station.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. Some mornings, opening your eyes is hard, but LifeLock's eyes are already open to a wide range of identity threats. Stuff you can't see by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com, use promo code RISK, save 10%.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Good morning, Uncle Henry. Here's Leviticus 9:11, the King James Version. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. And the New International Version. Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another. Leviticus 9:11.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Coming up in about 10 minutes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio. He can tell us about the deja vu of this morning's news out of Washington with more leaks. Meanwhile, you may have seen this story. It's been linked on a lot of the major news websites today about how Oregon, which is far away from where we are, Oregon has become the first state to allow people to, on their driver's license, you don't have to be a male or a female. You can be something else. And the choice is, in quotation marks, non-binary. Now, I've never heard of this. I've heard of a lot of different things that people identify themselves, but for some reason, that somehow slipped past me and I never heard of non-binary. So it would be, instead of an F for family or M for male, you would have X on your driver's license, and that would mean that you're not family or male. So I just... I don't know what the ramifications are going to be. It's going to be, I'm trying to put myself in the position of somebody that would ask to see your driver's license. And I guess now more than ever, we're going to be relying on, do you resemble the picture on the license, I guess. I mean, I don't understand the ramifications of this, of being X instead of M or F on the driver's licenses. Now, one thing, the news story out of Oregon, that I've got up in front of me says that if people that are in Oregon want to go and get one of the new driver's licenses, they will have to pay a replacement or renewal fee. So they're going to make some money off this. They say there's about 20,000 people in Oregon that want to be X. So they're going to make money off, not a huge amount, of course, but they will get a little increase in money to the state based on this. And there's the Oregon newspaper does have a picture of Jamie Shoup, this Oregon's first legally recognized non-binary person. And I don't want to be judgmental, of course, but Jamie Shoup, and I don't have the picture to show you on radio, of course, or even on TV right now, but Jamie Shoup does look ambiguous. So look for that. Alabama will probably be the last state to have this happen. Coming up next, Joe Gomez on our Deja Vu News Day.
The Glenn Beck program introduces a new eve. The eve of global war. Celebrate with your family and friends. Today at 5, News Radio 710, WNTM.
Bess is here from Lazy Boy. What are we talking about this time?
More complaints, Uncle Henry.
About your furniture lasting too long?
Something else, Mary.
What is it?
Well, Dan, our furniture is just too comfortable.
Why would anybody complain about that?
Well, Shelby, Father's Day's coming up.
And a recliner is the perfect gift for Dad, right?
True, but times have changed.
How's that?
Well, in the old days, Mom would come in and say she wanted a comfortable chair for Dad because he worked so hard and she loved him so much.
Oh, that's sweet.
Isn't it? And then Mom would say he does so much for the family. We just want him to come home, get in his recliner so we can serve him his dinner while he watches TV.
You're kidding.
Times have changed, haven't they?
They sure have.
Now Mom comes in and says, if he's getting something that comfortable, then I'm getting one too. Don't you think it should have been that way all along?
Yep, it is at my house.
That's why we have buy one, get one free, just in time for Father's Day.
So they can both celebrate.
Shelby, what did you get for Mother's Day?
Flowers. That's sweet, but now you can get something that will last a really long time and you can both enjoy together.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is Uncle Henry. I want to tell you about Dr. Thomas Bender and Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. We love living on the Gulf Coast. We love all the fun activities, the fishing, the golf. But years of being out in the elements, well, that can accelerate damage to your skin. That can accelerate the aging process of your skin. Dr. Bender can help you with that. Dr. Bender is a board-certified dermatologist. He provides the latest innovations in medical skincare and cosmetic skincare, and he also has all the latest technology. He's got 3 convenient locations, Mobile, Daphne, and Bay Minette. You can find out more about Dr. Bender and all of the services he provides by going online. The website is advanceddermclinic.com. That's advanceddermclinic.com. You can make an appointment. And we're back. We're back here on the Uncle Henry Show on the CW55. Daring to defy, daring to live our lives. That's the mission statement of the CW55. We'll be back on the radio in just a few minutes. Right now, it's me and you and Ariel. Ariel, quickly, before Joe Gomez calls in, can you join me here? Just want to ask, how will you celebrate Father's Day? Will there be an outing to a restaurant, or will there be cooking? How will you celebrate with your dad?
There will be cooking. In fact, he has already decided that he's going to barbecue.
All right, so
Shocker, right?
He's the one that's going to do the cooking on Father's Day.
Right. He has already decided that what he wants is barbecue, and since nobody's allowed to touch his grill, he is required to barbecue.
Okay, and your dad is a preacher. Will he be preaching on Father's Day?
I don't think so. Normally, I don't find out about those kind of things until Sunday. So then that's when I have to decide, okay, what church am I going to? Mine or the one that he's preaching at?
Okay, so that's all up in the air to be determined.
Correct. Correct. Tis will be determined.
All right. Well, Ariel revealed to us earlier that her father's already gotten his Father's Day gift from all the children, and Ariel doesn't know what it is.
And neither does any of my other sisters.
So,
trust me, I asked.
So we want to. So that's going to be something I'm looking forward to on Monday morning, is finding out what happened.
Yes. Will we finally find out what the Father's Day gift was?
Okay. All right. Well, Ariel, have a wonderful Father's Day weekend.
You do the same. Happy Father's Day. I don't know if that counts.
It counts. It absolutely does. We will. We'll be talking. Now, the radio listener will hear plenty of Ariel as we move forward. But for you, the TV viewer, that was your last ray of sunshine for the TV broadcast. So if you want more Ariel, you'll have to tune in later in the Uncle Henry Show on radio, watch it on Facebook, or just find her on thebeatofmobile.com. All right, I see Joe Gomez is ringing in. So we will be talking with Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio, and get the latest out of Washington with Joe Gomez here when we go back on radio. And I do want to mention again that when the TV broadcast has ended, you can continue to follow us with more video being broadcast on Facebook, on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. And you can also listen to us for the next several hours on the iHeartRadio app, wherever you are. Just look for WNTM or the Jag on the iHeartRadio app. All right, stand by. We're about to go to Joe Gomez here in 10 seconds.
Radio station.
This morning at 9, Ask the Expert. Then Rush at 11. Right now, it's Uncle Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for watching on the CW55. Joe Gomez is with us from NBC News Radio. Joe, good morning.
Well, good morning.
Well, Joe Gomez, I got up this morning and looked at the news, and the news looks a lot like it's looked for the past several weeks or even months. We have new leaks, this time from the special counsel, and there are still some people mad at the president for tweeting. So do you kind of feel like Groundhog Day, that it's gets kind of repetitious? More leaks, more anger over Twitter. It's the same news.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be, we would get like some kind of temporary reprieve with a lot of focus on this shooting investigation, but that clearly has not been the case. I mean, it's just back to the same old story, I guess, really. And so, the latest there is that the Post and now other news outlets have confirmed as well that Trump is under investigation for obstruction of justice by the FBI. I guess his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, also, according to the Post, is under investigation by the FBI. His business ties are being looked at. And then Vice President Mike Pence has hired a personal attorney as this cloud, I think, darkens over the White House. So, I guess the story goes on.
Joe Gomez, we almost don't need leaks, do we? We could safely assume that just about anybody around the president is potentially under investigation.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's probably true. I mean, if anybody that had, some contact with President Trump or was part of the transition team, I mean, they would be following his directives. And if he was influenced in any capacity by Russians, as has been alleged by some, then I guess they would be under investigation to determine what he told them and when he told them to do it. And so it sounds like, for instance, attorneys for the president have basically asked that any member of the transition team retain all documents, including travel documents, because they want to be able to provide as much information as they can to the FBI.
Now, Joe Gomez, I don't know, you may not know this, but I'm curious as to whether or not all these leaks now about what the special counsel is up to, are those illegal?
I mean, it sounds like they probably would be. I think that anybody, of course they would be. Even if they're talking about an ongoing investigation, the leaking information, if they're privy to that sort of classified knowledge that even, some members of Congress have not been briefed on yet, then, yeah, it would be illegal. In fact, the Assistant Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, issued a memo late yesterday warning the public not to believe anonymous sources, reports that are quoting anonymous sources where they don't even mention the department the sources came from or necessarily even the country, because anybody obviously can create an anonymous source.
Right. And
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but James Comey himself, in his testimony, did go back and say that there were New York Times stories that were totally false, that were based on anonymous sources.
Yeah, and I mean, I would imagine that would be true. How can you, if they're anonymous sources and they're not willing to put their name on the, out there in the public for public vetting, how can you completely trust them 100%? I mean, that's the gamble that you take with an anonymous source, I think, as a reporter. And so, and I'm sure it would make a lot of sense to Comey to have knowledge of that. And then I guess the question with that, too, is how many times was Comey the source in some of these New York Times stories? Because he obviously felt comfortable leaking some information to that particular outlet.
Yeah, this is, it looks like today's type of news is what you're going to be reporting on. The days are going to be very similar to each other as we move forward, where we wake up and there are more leaks. It'll be somebody else near the president that is allegedly under investigation, and there will be people mad at the president for tweeting about it. I mean, this is the way it's going to be, I guess, for who knows how long.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to go on until this FBI investigation into the whole Russia thing ends, and probably even a little bit afterwards. So, it looks like this is going to be one of those clouds that just continues to hang over the president. And now it sounds like there's a Senate Judiciary Committee that actually has signed off on a special investigation into into the firing of former FBI Director James Comey and whether or not that was appropriate. And that actually was announced by Chuck Grassley, who's a Republican out of Iowa. So I'm sure that upset a lot of Republicans. So, I mean, it's not only on the FBI side, but on the congressional side. Then you have people vying for attention on primetime television, and then the midterm elections coming up, which just kind of makes everything more dramatic. So, yeah, I mean, I would say for the next, year and a half at least, we're probably going to be hearing a lot of this.
Okay. All right. Well, Joe Gomez, try not to. If I were you, it would be driving me nuts that it's almost the same. It's the same news every day. It's just you just kind of change the names around. It's the same news. All right. Well, Joe, have a great weekend.
Okay. Thanks. You too.
There he goes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio. So, at what point? At what point does the president just decide to end most of this by pardoning everybody that worked on his campaign? I know that's a shock. That would be a shocking thing. Does he wait until after the midterms? Or could he do it now? Just come out with a list. This is well within presidential power. It would be very controversial. People would be mad at him. But just come out with a list. These are the people I pardon. Let's move on. I pardon all these people, so the only person that I can't pardon is myself. So I pardon everybody else. Bring it on, and let it be me versus whoever wants to investigate me. Will that happen? I think it might. We're out of time. We're out of time. Weekend is what Willie would say. Do what you want to do weekend. Thank you for watching the Uncle Henry Show on the CW55 today and for this week. And we're looking forward to the next couple of weeks on the CW55. Radio listener, we'll be right back. We have news, traffic, weather, and then right back with more show on a wonderful Friday morning.
If you're recovering from addiction and you just want to feel better, Recovery 24 can help. We know how difficult recovery can be on your mind and body, so we've developed Recovery 24, a nutritional supplement for those in recovery. Developed by a board-certified clinical nutritionist, Recovery 24's PM Pack helps provide